Ladies, we're here tonight on the show. So I just watched Money in the Bank, and I want to kick my fast thoughts about this puppy. Um, Look, the biggest thing is they made Jay look very strong in that match versus the Bloodline Civil War, man. They had him kick out of a freaking combination of the spear and the Samoan spike at the same time. And then later on, they had him kick out of another spear with him kicking, as he kicks out, he hits Roman Reigns in the balls. My goodness, did they make Jey Uso look strong here? There's no question in my mind. They're gonna have Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship at SummerSlam. That's gonna be the main event. And the question is, do you pull the trigger? I think a lot of people are saying there's no more dates for Roman Reigns after SummerSlam. Like, there's nothing like for the rest of the year. Now, they could add more dates and they maybe just haven't made it public yet. But man, you remember 3 years ago, this is how they started, right? Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, and Jey Uso, with Roman Reigns beating up Jey Uso, having matches with him. So to the point where Jey Uso had no choice but to acknowledge Roman Reigns and become part of the bloodline. Do you at one point tonight you had Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman like almost crying because they kept kicking out, like after Jay kicked out of the combination of the Spear and Samoan Spike, they started chanting. You saw Paul Heyman yelling, "What are we gonna do, my tribal chief?" And the one that had to get him back on track was Solo Sokola. So this was great, man. And you wonder, could it be over? Could it be Jay? Everybody thought it was Cody Rhodes. Everybody thought it was maybe Sami Zayn. Is it maybe Jey Uso, the one that's because he's the one that started all of this 3 years ago with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman? I don't know, man. They made him look pretty damn strong tonight. I never seen that shit in my life. The fact they did that for the first time, a combination of a spear and a Samoan spike, and he still kicked out, and then later on, once again, kicked out of a second spear. Holy moly, they made Jey Uso look super strong, man. I cannot wait. And for the first time, remember, 10 years ago, when Roman Reigns, I think he'd been in WWE for like a year, the first person ever to pin him was Jey Uso when Roman was with the Shield. 10 years later, he becomes the first person to pin him after being undefeated for 3 years. That's great storytelling as well. Jesus Christ. We had another great things in this show, man. We had John Cena making an appearance, perhaps a match with Grayson Waller at SummerSlam. Drew McIntyre for sure. I think he's gonna have a match with Gunther at SummerSlam for the Intercontinental Champion. We had a freaking we had a freaking the breakup of two tag teams, man. Freaking Shayna Baszler attacks Ronda Rousey and they cause her. She walks away. Freaking Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez won the woman tag team titles. You had freaking Bayley first drop the Io out of the ladder. So then later in the match, Io freaking handcuffed Bayley and Becky Lynch is together on the freaking ladder as she climb up and won Money in the Bank. Damian Priest won the man's Money in the Bank. Um, a lot of good stuff in this pay per view, man. A lot of good stuff, especially with John Cena and Drew McIntyre appearing, perhaps both planting the seeds for matches at SummerSlam. With John Cena versus Grayson Waller and Drew McIntyre versus Gunther. Very, very good show here tonight, man. What else am I missing? I got the women's tag team match, the man's freaking Logan Paul, man. They tried to do like a Spanish fly, him and Ricochet, and I think Logan Paul messed up, and he landed like on his back of his head, like neck. He was all cut up from the back. Jesus Christ, man. But this was a hell of a show, ladies and gentlemen. The Seth Rollins, Finn Balor match. It was mostly about potentially playing the seats between maybe Finn Balor and Damian Priest having problems. Um, for Finn Balor, Damian Priest kind of cost him the match with, at the end there thinking he was going to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase and maybe turn it into a triple threat match. Fucking Dominic Mysterio got freaking kind of squashed by Cody Rhodes. Honestly, I don't know why they had that match. Honestly, I thought it was to set up a Brock Lesnar interference. I don't know what the hell that. I don't know what the point. That was they literally just wasted time with that shit, man. You had all this momentum for Dominic, and I think it went to the shithole. I thought he kind of got buried a little bit tonight by Cody Rhodes in that match. But it was a hell of a show. Hell of a show, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot believe the way they ended it, man. How strong they made Jey Uso look there at the end, at the finish. But hell of a show, man. Until next time, holla. The fuck, how did I shut this shit off? The fuck is happening?